Yo, it's your boy Adol. I'm going to be showing you some investments that you can be making for the Bundesliga and Serie A team of the season so far, SBCs that should be coming out. As you can see, I've already invested in a load of gold rares from the Serie A, and I've started picking up some team of the season so far players as well, and I'll be explaining the risk factor that comes with these sort of investments. So what we're going to start off by doing is looking at the Bundesliga gold rares, and I'll explain to you why I haven't actually touched these. So the cheapest one at the moment is Rashika, and you're looking at 1.7k. We've got quite a lot of players here on 1.7, even 1.8k. And yeah, yesterday there was a player called Mosander who was 1.7k as well. And we'll just take a look at him for example. We'll look at his sort of daily prices. So it's the 18th of May as I'm recording this now. And on the 12th of May, he was going for 1.1k. 9th of May, 800 coins. And you can see how much his price has absolutely creeped up. I just feel like this is because the amount of people that are investing in these coins quite early as opposed to last week when I've done a sort of late investment. That's why I've actually stayed clear of these, because I don't recommend it as a late investment. Maybe if you picked them up a week ago for 1k, something like that, I suggest even selling up now if you already have. Just because when the SBC does roll out, the amount of people that have invested in these cards because of their prices, as you can see, there is a chance that the prices of these players actually does drop and you actually might lose out on coins. So yeah, that's the reason I haven't touched those, and I don't suggest you do. There is also the chance that the price of the players do go up to 2k, maybe 3k if you're extremely lucky when the SBC does roll out, but that is going to be a bit more risky for you to take. Okay, so we'll look at the team of the season so far players. As we know, with the requirements for the guaranteed SBC, it does require 1, as we've had with the previous ones, such as the Premier League and La Liga. I did invest in loads of Rodaks last week and I only made about 1 or 2k profit of each one. So it was quite risky and I don't recommend it. This is because the squad requirements was like 88 rated and people didn't want an 86 rated team in the season so far player for that sort of coins. We've got Cisse here, who is the cheapest one, and I've managed to buy one at the moment, but I might be picking up a few. He's going to be quite a bit more riskier. The reason for this is the link factor. So if they do a higher chemistry rating, we don't really know exactly what they're going to do. You can't always base it off what's happened previously. If they do a higher chemistry requirement, then it's going to be quite hard to link, but he is the cheapest one at the moment. Obviously we've got the centre back here. If we look at his price now, he's going for 31, 32k. I did start picking him up for 30k. I don't really suggest going for more than 31, 30k. You might be pushing it a bit in terms of profits after tax as well. And yeah, obviously he's in the German league, so if there is a higher requirement for chemistry, it's going to be a lot easier to link a player like him. If we look at a player called Easy, I did buy quite a few of him last week and I made really good profit off of him. This one's going to have quite a bit of higher risk factor depending on the sort of players you get, what links they are, etc. So that one's up to you, but I would suggest anything from 28 to 30k will be a sort of good purchase and good sort of risk for that sort of price. Right, so now we're going to turn our attention to Serie A, if I can just load it up here, and we'll look at some of their prices. So we can see we've got Caceres, who I've invested a load in. We've got Kragno, I've invested a load in as well. I bought a load of Kandravas. I've got some one Jesus as well. And yeah, they're going for around 1k, 1.1k. I think anything under 1.1k is going to be a pretty good buy. Whether you start mass bidding on the market or you try and snipe and pick them off, I'm pretty sure at this stage you'll be able to get them for a pretty good price. And as we've seen with the other player that I showed you, Mosander, how much his price actually rose throughout the week. You can easily sell him in the hype or wait until the SBC comes out. It depends how much of a risk you want to actually take with that one. I do suggest, as I always do, if you are going to get gold rares, to get the highest rated cheap one possible. So for example, if you've got all these players here for 1.1k, then try and get the highest rated cheapest ones, such as Belia, who's 82 rated. And the reason I do suggest this is A, they are already the same price, and B, like we saw last week, the La Liga, like I always done, I invested for the highest rated, cheapest ones. And when the Ansu Fati SBC come out that not everyone expected, it required a kind of low rated squad, and some people were chucking these sort of cards in, and it actually pushed their value up a bit more than the sort of lower rated ones. And it kind of just doubles your bet and makes it a bit more sort of risk free. But yeah, I'd say this is the safest investment out of all of them, specifically because the team of the season so far one's a bit more riskier depending on the chemistry, but there's always going to be a risk factor even when it comes to something like this. But yeah, that's the sort of investments that I am making, and I am going to be making more throughout the week using this sort of format that I'm currently used last week as well, and it did work for me, and I made quite a bit of coins off it as well, and hopefully you can as well. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you get any comments and feedbacks, please do write them down below. And that's the end of my video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. It's been your boy. That leaves one more thing to say. Safe